right. All right, welcome back to my channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my last video on the Mets and the Francisco Lindor trade. Like I said, it's the New York sports in the last 7, 8, 9 days has been wild and chaotic with the moves, and it's awesome. It's so good for the area to have this type of talent being acquired and coming to our teams. But I'll get into the Brooklyn Nets now. For this one, hopefully you guys enjoy this green screen from my last video. When I have it here now, you guys get to see the Barclays Center behind me. But, yeah, going into the Nets, wow. They acquired James Harden from the Houston Rockets. Former league MVP, scoring champion, assist leader. The dude can do everything. I mean, you're acquiring a top 5 player in basketball. You have 2 of the top 5 players in basketball in Kevin Durant and James Harden. And Kevin Durant has been impressing me too, coming back from a torn Achilles injury. Torn Achilles, which is one of the most brutal injuries to have as a basketball player. Especially a leg injury for somebody who's that tall, because all NBA players are extremely tall. To go through that, miss an entire season, basically a season and a half, and to come back and be the same old KD, Kevin Durant, second best player in basketball, Kevin Durant, because that's how he's playing at right now, is absolutely insane. And he did it before the Harden deal. He is looking like his old self, which is awesome, man. Like it is so awesome to see Kevin Durant as a Brooklyn Net, and now it's just as awesome to see James Harden as a Brooklyn Net. Several days ago, the deal went through. Harden going to Brooklyn in the deal. You had, unfortunately, Karis LeVert and Jared Allen did leave. They did leave the team. Jared Allen went to Cleveland in the deal, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Karis LeVert went to the Rockets, but is in the middle of trying to get traded to the Pacers for Victor Oladipo. But that deal isn't finalized yet, I believe, because Karis LeVert, something happened with his physical. So that deal isn't set yet, but the Harden one to Houston is. So the Nets had to get rid of Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Taurean Prince, I believe 3 first-round draft picks and 4 swaps, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a hefty price to give up for someone like James Harden. But in the NBA world, where superstars matter, you need superstars in this league. And I have a buddy that is a big Net fan. That he's in our fantasy basketball league we talk about in group. He was worried at the time. He's like, oh, we gave up too much for Harden. Like, Karis LeVert and Jared Allen were great on this team. Yeah, they were. And, we have no draft picks until 2028. But it's like, if you're a championship contending team in NBA, in the sport of basketball, draft picks don't matter. I'm going to tell you that straight up. They do not matter. They don't matter to the Los Angeles Lakers. They don't matter to the Los Angeles Clippers. They don't matter to the Milwaukee Bucks. They don't matter to the Brooklyn Nets. They don't matter. If you're a championship contending team, it does not matter, because more times than not, that pick you are drafting in the low end first round, in the 28 to 30 range, 27 to 30 range, in pick wise. It doesn't matter. They wouldn't be fitting on the team, those draft picks, even if they do pan out, if you have a big 3 like you do in Brooklyn. Or if you have LeBron and Anthony Davis with the Lakers. It doesn't matter that much to me, in my opinion. And superstars matter in this league. You can go back to almost a decade in this league. You've seen every year, whoever wins a championship, a superstar, there's at least 1 to 2 superstars on that team that are. You never see a team where, they didn't have one superstar and they won. No, every team has in the last decade or so, at least. Even you can go back 20 to 30 years. You go back to Larry Bird and the Celtics. You go back to Magic and Kareem with the Lakers. You go back to Jordan and Pippen with the Bulls. You can go to Tim Duncan with the Spurs and David Robinson. You can go to Shaq and Kobe. You can go to Shaq and Dwayne Wade. You can go to LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh. You can go to Dirk Nowitzki with the Mavericks. I can go on and on and on with all these teams. The one team that probably didn't have a superstar in a rare year, but they were an all-time great defensive team, was the '04 Detroit Pistons. They had four borderline all-star-ish players, but they all played amazing defense. Like, they were a complete dominant defensive team. But you can go back to the history of time with basketball. You need superstars in this league, especially now where it's a player-driven league where more players are teaming up together. You got LeBron and AD teaming up with the Lakers. You got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George teaming up with the Clippers. I'm telling you, like, this is you need superstars in this league in order to win, and James Harden is one of those guys that can possibly put you over the top. Right now, so with Harden on the team, this Brooklyn Net team and Kyrie Irving, I'm going to get to him in a little bit. He's been out, personal reasons. We'll talk about that. But let's assume Kyrie Irving is going to come back at some point this season, which I think he will. It's finals or bust this season for the Nets. Finals or bust. Okay, Milwaukee, you got to give some respect to Milwaukee with Giannis. You got to give some respect for Miami because they're the defending Eastern Conference champions. Got to give a little respect to Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto. I don't really see those teams really competing. I think it's Brooklyn or Milwaukee, basically. Miami, if they had Jimmy Butler, if he's healthy, the problem is he can't stay healthy this season. If that's the case, they're kind of screwed. But right now it's Brooklyn or Milwaukee, and Brooklyn has to win the East. They have to. And if they verse the Lakers, that'd be an evenly matched series. It really would. That'd be a lot of fun seeing a Lakers-Nets finals. We'll see, though. The ratings will go through the roof there. You got New York and L.A. That'd be insane. That honestly be insane. With those stars playing in the finals would be awesome to see. But we'll see. The Nets got to get through the season. They got to get through the East. But James Harden is the type of guy. He's a top 5 player in my opinion. I'm sorry. I understand he hasn't won a championship yet. People would say, "Oh, he's dribble, foul, goes to the line," but it works. In this league, it works. The league is a little bit softer than it was in the olden days. That matters now. You have to adapt to the league. The 3-point shot matters. You have to adapt to it. Steph Curry made it, well known, and now every team is doing that too. It matters. So, I think that it's going to be a fun next several months for the Brooklyn Nets basketball. It is. I think that Kyrie Irving should have been the one dealt the deal. I think they should have kept Allen and LeVert. Not that it matters much, but Kyrie Irving is a head case, man. I'm saying it mildly. I don't want to blast this guy too much, but I'm going to try not to, but it's hard. It's very hard. He's a very hard guy to like. His antics are just ridiculous. Like, he's acting like a cancer to this team. Just showing up when you don't want, no showing when he doesn't feel like it. Like, to tell everybody, I just don't feel like playing. Well, you know what? A lot of people in this world don't feel like showing up to work, but you still have to show up to work. An average person can't be like, I'm just not going to show up to work today and not tell my bosses, and I just don't feel like it. No, they can't do that because you want to know why? They would get fired. But Kyrie Irving, I know, has that luxury, guaranteed money. He's making over $30 million this season. Can do what he wants. The guy's just not there, though. He's got to come out and say it. Like, if it has to do with like mental illness, I completely understand it. If it has to do with social justice, I completely understand it. But tell us why you are not playing. Tell your own franchise and front office why you're not playing, what you are doing. Because like I said, if it's a mental illness thing or social justice, I completely understand. But if you're not showing up because you're going to a maskless birthday party for your sister or whatever, like there was reports online that said it, That's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Your team's playing. They're working their asses off, especially in this type of season where it's hard to explain, but like where your teammates need you the most, where you're no-showing. You're not showing up to games. You're not telling your head coach. You're not telling your general manager. Like, this guy has done this before. Like, he did it before last season. Like, he didn't play for a couple of games because Kobe passed, which is understandable. It hit a lot of NBA players and fans. If you didn't want to play, just go, or you couldn't play because you were so shook by Kobe passing instantly, then tell your head coach. Tell your front office. Tell your teammates. Don't just walk out of the arena and leave without saying anything. I mean, I don't understand with this guy. I don't get it. I don't. There's something up with him. He doesn't make sense. Like, this guy is literally ridiculous. He's hard to like. He really is for me. I've called him much worse than I'm calling him now. But this dude is a bona fide crybaby. He's a crybaby who if he doesn't get his way, complains, doesn't show up. It's unbelievable. The guy cried his way out of Cleveland. He cried his way out of Boston. He told the Boston Celtics fans, "Oh, I'm going to be a Celtic for life," and then signs with the Brooklyn Nets a year later. Everything this guy says, the opposite has happened. This team has been better without him. You can see the Cavs made finals. They with LeBron, they still made finals appearances without him. The Celtics did pretty damn well in the playoffs without him, and now the Nets look pretty decent without him. Again, they have Kevin Durant back. They've won the last 3 games. He's saying he's going to come back soon. Now he's finally talking to the GM. He talked to him last night or something, or a couple of nights ago. He can't wait to come back. Oh, now you're coming back because James Harden's back? Is that the reason why you're sitting out? Who knows? I don't know, but you gotta tell people why you're sitting out. You gotta tell at least your coach and your general manager and your owner why you're sitting out. And if it's for the valid reasons, like I said prior, I understand. But if it's just to hang out, go online on a Zoom chat, or go to a birthday party with no mask, that's unacceptable. Like, get it together, Kyrie. Get it together. I just can't stand him. He literally just frustrates me every time he talks too. Like, he sounds like he's smart, but he's really not. He's really not. And I'm like I said, if it's mental illness, social justice causes reasons why he's not doing it, like he's not playing, that's understandable. But at least be vocal about it. Tell us that's the reason why. Don't just say I'm just not. I just don't feel like playing. That's cowardish. But anyways, back to, I don't want to get too off topic there, with the Kyrie drama, but back to, James Harden, the Kevin Durant, the Brooklyn Nets team playing on the court. Damn, they looked pretty good last night. Last night they versed Orlando Magic in James Harden's first game as a net. And boy, him and Kevin Durant, man, they looked really good together. They're going to be so much fun to watch. With Kyrie coming back, I don't know how that's going to affect it. I hope if Kyrie comes back, he doesn't, kill this vibe that the Brooklyn Nets have. Kevin Durant went for 42 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists yesterday. Shot 5 from 8 from 3. 6-15 field goal percentage. And then you had James Harden yesterday go for a triple-double in his Brooklyn Nets debut. 34 points. He had 14 assists, 12 rebounds. Jeez. 32 points again. He had 32 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists. Had 3 threes. Got to the free throw line 15 times. Made 13 of 15 of those. He played 40 minutes. He played a lot of minutes. Him and Kevin Durant did. But because they then Brooklyn Nets had to get rid of some couple of pieces for Harden, so they have to fill that void on their bench, maybe in free agency with somebody on the free agent list or another trade. We'll see there. But the Brooklyn Nets, if they played the way they did yesterday, Kevin Durant, James Harden, with Landry Shamet, TLC, Joe Harris getting wide open looks for days, that's going to be a great show to watch, the Brooklyn Nets. And like I said, it's finals or bust. It is finals or bust for the Brooklyn Nets this season, and they have to win a championship in at least the next 3 seasons in order for the Harden trade to be a success. I think that's probably going to be the case. So there's a lot to look forward to for the Brooklyn Nets. I told my buddy that's a big Brooklyn Nets fan don't be worried about it. Just be thankful you have Harden, you have Kevin Durant, and I know Kyrie's a pain, but you have a big 3, and that's what matters in the NBA. Star power. We'll see what happens through the rest of the season. And like I said, it's going to be a fun ride and a fun show to watch in Brooklyn, for sure. Kevin Durant, James Harden, and whenever Kyrie Irving comes back, they're all Brooklyn Nets. And this is the most talent you've seen on a New York sports basketball team, Knicks or Nets. I think literally ever. I don't think with those big 3, talent-wise, at the same time playing together, I don't think there's ever been a better roster or big team in New York sports, even going back to the Knicks' old days and the Nets' old days. So, but like I said, there's 3 guys that need the ball most of the time. But I feel like Kevin Durant can get those 2 together. I think the best situation is to have Harden be a point guard. I think Harden being a point guard with Kyrie playing off ball as the 2, I think that would benefit better for the Brooklyn Nets as a team than having Kyrie bring up the ball whenever he comes back with Harden being the 2. I think Harden should be the main ball handler. The guy has led the league in assists before. He has insane handles himself, just like Kyrie does. I think he's a better distributor than Kyrie. So I feel like with him being the point and Kyrie playing off ball with Kevin Durant, I think that would work so well and so great for the Brooklyn Nets. But we shall see. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. They play tomorrow. They play Monday night, MLK Day, against Milwaukee. That should be a fun game to see. The Bucks Nets tomorrow night, and every game is going to be fun seeing them. We haven't seen this ever, this type of talent on a New York sports team for the sport of basketball. So it should be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet to my channel. It would mean the world to me. And I'll see you guys for my next one. Take care.